As the dwarf strode down the center aisle of St. Mary's Sanctuary, Landon whisked off the altar, quickly catching up with him. "Keep your cool," he told himself. "Don't let him get under your skin." As nonchalantly as possible, he asked,
"What's up?"
"You'll see soon enough,"
George mumbled, showing all the social skills of a caveman. Landon wondered what in the world ever attracted Lucy to the guy, and how did he remain so calm? Was transcendental meditation a required elective in police academy these days? Was the good officer doing more with illicit drugs than bagging and tagging them for evidence? Shaved scalp above bottle green eyes, smooth forehead untouched by a single worry line, the cocky strut of someone used to getting his way, the dwarf looked like he'd never seen a bad day in his life. Nearing the back of the church, Landon caught movement to his right. He peered into an eye patch of thick shadow in that corner of the sanctuary. In his hands, the rifle felt as heavy and cold as the broadsword of some medieval knight. Nothing hid in the crook of shadows except a candle snuffer with its long metal pole and hooked neck that ended in a bowl. At the wide double doors, George suddenly shot forward, opened one door, and disappeared into the lobby. Landon entered the darker atrium, leaving the candle-brightened sanctuary, rifle clenched tightly in his hands, fearing that this might be a trap, wondering if his dead father might greet him again from the afterlife. Landon cleared the hallway fast. No danger here. Ambling over to the even larger double doors, separating the inside of the church from the outside world, George leaned his face into the oval-shaped stained glass window.
"Over here,"
he said, waving to Landon with the pistol. Sidling up next to him, Landon squinted through the colored glass. At first, the image is blurred, distorted by the window. Then, as his eyes adjusted, Landon made out the Ford truck. The pickup's headlights were dim, barely casting light onto the church steps.
"What am I looking for?"
"Just watch."
He waited. Still nothing.
"Are you sure?"
"Can't you follow simple instructions?"
The hallway stank of candle wax and sweat. The dwarf was pushing his buttons. He didn't know why. If he had to guess, he'd say probably out of jealousy or pride, or something worse. Until Landon showed up, George had been the only alpha dog around, calling all the shots and playing king. Perhaps he viewed Landon as a challenge to his throne. Either way, Landon was in no mood for a pissing match. He swallowed his anger, gaze fixed on the oval window. Just as he was about to pull his eyes away to rest them from the constant strain, Landon did see something. Through the puddle of ruddy light waited a man-sized silhouette, elongated arms dropping ape-like to the front lawn of the church. Landon snapped his head away from the window, stepped backwards, clumsy with his rifle. In rapid succession, he looked left, then right, and left again, convinced that one of these creatures drew near.
"If you're going to wet yourself, go do it in the corner."
"What?"
Landon shook his head. What was that outside?
"Maybe you should go back with the women."
George suggested.
"Leave this to us, man."
Blinking, Landon joggled his head again.
"No, I'm fine."
He said through clenched teeth. The anger he had swallowed hardened in his gut. He didn't know how much more he could take. George stepped away from the stained glass window. Landon took a deep breath and then returned to the double doors. This time, he watched two of the ape-like beings, features concealed by the darkness. Fascination and terror pinched his lungs and heart, robbing him of his ability to breathe. Still bent over, he pressed his face against the glass and squinted through the window. To the others, he must look like a kid staring through the display case at a candy shop. To him, it was more like the dizzying view from the top of the first long drop on a roller coaster.